This is Chet Holmgren, and I'm down to dunk.
This is AJ Mitchell, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Alex Crusoe, and I'm down to dunk.
It's like baby bottle pop. Yeah.
This is Adam Flagler, and I'm down to dunk.
Hey, it's Isaiah Hartenstein, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Kason Wallace, and I'm down to dunk.
I can't spell Lucas. Hey, how do you spell Lucas? How do you spell Lucas?
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
This is Nikola Topic, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Dylan Jones, and I'm down to dunk. This is Isaiah Joe, and I'm down to dunk.
And there's probably like 50 to 75 Beanie Babies.
Give me like your top 3 Pokemon.
Brother, I can't even name.
This is Jay Will, and I'm down to dunk.
Sometimes the way his brain works is it leaves a lot to be desired.
This is Kenrich Williams, and I'm down to dunk.
Charmander.
Yeah.
Charmander. Or you're more of a Charmeleon guy.
Charmeleon.
This is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and I'm down to dunk.
Schlecht. You know what it
Schlecht?
means? Yeah.
That means like bad.
It means bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Well, it was a good interview, so it wasn't bad.
J-Dub, year 3, and I'm down to dunk for the 3rd time. Thank you.
Good morning and welcome to episode 16113 of Down to Dunk. You can find us on The Athletic and anywhere else you subscribe to your podcasts. Go to theathletic.com/down to dunk. Get The Athletic for $1 a month for 6 months. I am Luke. Joined this morning by Andrew.
I gotta say, I'm just fired up to be here today. It's pretty cool. Pretty damn cool. Woo!
Slam through.
Taylor.
It's so much better when everyone is slept through.
And Jay.
It's Jay.
What just happened?
Is
Is that an impression of how he sounds today?
Yeah, that's old man Brandon
Making a LeBron song. LeBron's so much better
Oh, that's a good one.
than everyone is else. Glorious King.
Thunder beat the Memphis Grizzlies
to set the franchise record for wins.
61-12.
Wow.
Because I care not about the 96 or whenever Seattle Supersonics.
Yeah.
Especially, I guess yesterday, I didn't know this, but they had the Board of Governors meeting, and
They did.
expansion's real. It's on the horizon.
Wow.
They haven't gotten concrete details, but it's very real. So, bye-bye Sonics.
Bye-bye.
Please.
Please.
Just do it.
Shea was pretty much flawless.
Who won the belt?
Yeah. He was flawless.
What was it? Who won the belt?
So the Thunder won by, how many did they win by? 21? 21. So L-Man.
Wow. Is that real?
Yep.
Yeah.
Look at me.
L-Man's got the belt. I said Thunder by 15. Jay said 13. Taylor was not here. By the way,
45.
What do you say?
You won the belt last week.
You're kidding me.
No.
Congratulations.
The one time I've won the belt and I wasn't here, I
Truly.
think that was the first time I won the belt, because the other first time I thought I won, we
Could've been.
looked at it again and it was like, oh no, actually Andrew won.
You got sabotaged, man.
I got freaking
The
sabotaged.
Thunder, this is a strange game where for the bulk of really 3 quarters plus a few minutes into the 4th quarter, it felt like it was going to be one of those games you just kind of kept letting a team stay in it.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, you look up and it's goes from I think actually the Grizzlies may have been up by 1 at some point. And then next thing you know, the Thunder are up by 6, then they're up by 10, then they're up by 13, and then next thing you know, it's just over. And Lou Dort, maybe, I know he got a lot of flowers in the post-game press conferences from Shea and Dub and Mark. But Dub was phenomenal, hit some stupid 3-pointers. That one he hit at the end of the shot clock, I mean, looked like it scraped the Jumbotron.
Yeah, it was. First of all, it was just a grenade thrown to him. Just like, all right, you do something. And I just thought this thing is not going in. Is what I thought, because it was a rushed play. He had to shoot it, and it was. It went so high up, but it swished about as good as any Dort shot ever has. And that was the start of the run. And it actually ended a run for the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies had a 10-1 run going until that point. And the game was tied at 99-99 at that point, and then the Thunder never looked back. They went on from that point, from the 7:20 mark of the fourth quarter, they went on a 28-5 run.
Yeah.
To end the game.
Because the Kings went on a little run too that didn't feel very good when it was happening.
It was in the third quarter.
Yeah.
In the Kings game.
How do we feel about these? They don't feel good when they're happening.
It's March.
Do we just say that's
Also,
March?
the Thunder have won 9 in a row. They beat the Grizz ended up being 21 points.
Yeah.
What was the final? They beat the Kings by double digits
I think by
as well,
16.
didn't
Yeah, they beat them by a lot.
they? Yeah, and the Kings shot 10 of 13 from the 3-point line in that third quarter. So
Yeah,
sometimes
they won by 16.
NBA is a game of runs. The Thunder are just
right.
at this
My
point
day.
like running over people.
Well, and the Thunder are so good that these teams that go on runs, they give everything they can to go on these runs, and then the Thunder still have more energy left over.
true.
You know, they give everything they can, and the Thunder are just so relentless.
Well, what you see defensively is like their engagement when they're ready.
Yeah.
And when they feel the pressure on it, and having it was funny. They had the full complement of players minus Wiggs, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3 minutes into the game, their playing time, Caruso and Jay Will are both out for the game. So it's like, well, almost had everybody, but
Yeah, I know.
which some of that I'm always like, I think at this point in the season, if you have any minor injury, just have a seat.
Yeah, there's no reason.
We'll see you in a week.
Yeah, there's no reason to continue to push. Yeah, they just need to get to the playoffs healthy.
yeah.
Like that's definitely what they need to do. Yeah, there were a couple of moments last night where Chet fell
Yes,
during the
dude.
game, and you're just like,
Took that offensive charge or got that offensive charge.
Yeah, it's like, dude, like,
Don't do that.
Maybe sit him for a week. You
Yeah.
know, It's like how you feel watching him play, and then iHeart like falls super awkwardly on like this like Jaren Jackson fouled him, and there was no ill intent, but like he lands weird, falls backwards, and is immediately grabbing his leg in a way that made you think,
No, that's it. That's the
he's
season.
done for the season, maybe done until round 2. I don't know. And then like 10 seconds later, he just pops up. He's like, okay, I'm fine.
Shoots free throws.
Yeah. And then he has like that crazy dunk, not 20 seconds later. So I guess he's fine, but it's just terrifying seeing these guys like.
So the name of the game
ground.
is stay healthy.
Yeah.
Thunder have the Pacers Saturday night, the Bulls Monday night. I mean, they still got some games that very losable games. Both of those are losable. Like you're watching what the insane Bulls run is.
Neither of those are losable.
Yeah, I mean, probably, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's not like they're playing the Sixers and the Hornets.
And
Yeah.
now, like, how much do you care about losing games at this point?
Yeah, it
That
just
franchise
depends on what your
record-
goal is.
No other team in the West is going to touch 55 games, let alone 60 games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not again. You throw everybody out there, but the starting lineup, they still win games anyways. you know?
Yeah.
So
They
That
need
was one
Wiggs
of my
back before they do that, though.
It's one of my favorite games of the whole season.
yeah, that's true.
Last night was?
No.
Oh, the Blazers.
Yeah, that Blazers game.
Blazers game, the Sixers game. I've had multiple people say that to me. Like they just loved watching those two games in
Yeah.
particular.
Yeah, and part of that is because you have for the Thunder. This is what's insane about them is they haven't constructed a roster that just has the elite level of talent, but you really do have 10 guys that would be getting really important minutes on the vast majority of teams.
Yeah.
Like Kenrich. And Kenrich has been great the last couple of weeks, and they've
Yeah,
been
he
depending
has.
on him quite a bit. You got Caruso, who basically on that little road swing, the Clippers and the Kings, was maybe the second most important player.
He's the X factor.
Like he was incredible. He won that. Was it the Clippers game? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have Joe, who's been on a heater recently, and Alex read some of those numbers about kind of the splits throughout the year.
Yeah.
Both Joe and Caruso are now shooting over 40 over basically the last 35 games or so. You have Wiggs. You've got Jay Will has been phenomenal recently as well. Like they just have an incredible amount of depth that really what sets this team apart from a lot of teams we've seen, especially in the past, for the Thunder, is when you would lose your top guys, there was just such a natural drop off. And there was somebody last night, I don't remember who it was, but was trying to ask that question and kind of fumbled their way to it with Shea about how confident he might feel having such a deep roster that's able to sustain when he's off the court. And Shea just is like, we have a lot of great basketball players that play for this team, and so I'm not worried at all about what happens when I'm off the floor.
They also the Thunder right now have such a good podcast that discuss them every week to week, and when they're not playing, they have a podcast that can really sustain the team.
Yeah,
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
yeah.
They should ask Shea about that.
Hey, Shay, is there a podcast that's sustaining this whole
What do
thing?
you think? What podcast would you say really kind of captures the essence of this organization?
What's going on down there?
What is going on down there?
Yep. Hey, which game should we vote on for or bet on for the next week's belt?
It's got to be the Bulls game, right?
Doubles, yes.
Giddy's return.
Josh Giddey.
Josh Giddey, who had
Josh Giddey.
an incredible shot to beat the Lakers last night.
And he had the steal on so they were down 5.
Yeah.
Got the steal on the inbounds play, passed to Kobe White.
He got a giddy tritty ditty.
He's been
He ended
on
the game with a giddy
on
tritty ditty too.
Yeah.
on one.
He really has. Yeah, he had 8 steals the other day.
Giddy.
That's a really bad Wally Zerbiak. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Andrew. Giddy. It's like, no. Yeah, so the Bulls game, I think Thunder win by 12.
Okay. Oh, man.
Thunder at 20.
Okay, Bulls by 1. We get another one.
Get another Giddy half-court heave for the win.
Giddy tritty ditty.
Not only does he get the win, but the mid-first is obligated to pay him $20,000.
Yeah. That's a good deal. That's a good deal for him.
Jay, what did you say?
12.
12. Okay, I'll say
12.
I'll say Thunder by 18.
I want to win.
And it's at home. That game's at home. Was the Pacers game at home?
Yeah, they're both at home. Homestand.
Nice.
Nice little homestand here.
Nice little homestand here. Finish the season out. Let's go. Not traveling again.
Yeah, after this homestand, the only 2 games they have left at home are against the Lakers.
Yeah. Back to back.
Yep.
Saturday and a Tuesday.
Sunday, Tuesday.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a Sunday afternoon game.
2:30,
Yeah,
the 6th of April.
that's right.
Wow.
I knew,
knew
it.
it.
I should have known it was
You
a
knew
Sunday.
it.
It came out wrong, guys.
Was
Listen.
that your April Fool's?
okay.
It's my April Fool's joke.
Wow.
A little early.
April
I
Fool.
think
that's
kind of in
why-
the spirit of April Fool's.
I know, but that's why it gets you.
yeah.
Because like
Nobody
you
would
weren't
expect on the
expecting it.
28th of March.
exactly to be April Fooled.
Yeah.
But they be on the lookout. They're coming.
Yeah. There's no time throughout the whole year that you're safe from an April Fool's joke.
A true April Fool
Never stops being
never
one.
stops.
True.
Never stops fooling.
Never stops fooling.
It's so much better.
Anything else from this game that stuck out to you?
The Grizzlies game?
Yeah, J-Dub returned.
He's a little rusty.
he
You can
missed-
feel some rust.
Missed 7 games, had 25 and 4.
He was very excited, though, J-Dub.
That is what he does.
He was so into it.
Anytime he come off the court, he go and get on the bike and kind of just keep his.
Yeah.
It's a hip, right? Isn't that
Yeah.
what he's dealing with?
What's the deal with hips? We never had
Hips.
to think about
There's
hips.
a lot of hip.
This is like
hip
the season
stuff.
of hips.
A lot of hips.
They don't lie.
This is the season of Shakira.
Shakira.
Oh, baby, when you talk like that.
What do you think about all?
You two should just start to anything that's a duet in the history of music. Just the two of you.
That's right.
There was a lot of talk about
Go
Lou
karaoke.
Dort winning the Defensive Player of the Year.
Not happening.
After the game last
That'd be
night.
awesome, but he should.
Yeah,
Draymond Green is the betting favorite now.
dude, that makes me want to throw
That
up.
is so annoying.
Okay.
That is so annoying.
Okay.
Any
That's called
other
people
team,
are bored and they don't know. They don't want to put the effort in to figure out who actually should win it.
But like, okay, the Thunder have this historically great defense, one of the greatest defenses in the past 20 years. The best defense of the past 20 years.
But somebody had a hot take about that.
Normally, I did have a hot take about that. I said they would be the greatest defense of all time.
That's why he's getting so fired up.
That's why I get fired up because it's this OKC thing again, which is, I do believe in this, by the way, that there is a bias against OKC. Any other team that is the greatest defense, everyone would be saying like, I mean, look, this is the greatest defensive team we've seen in 20, 25 years.
They
We
are gonna
have
get-
to pick
ever.
a
They are-
guy from this
Yeah.
team.
Yeah. I think it should be Dort. I've been
It
saying
has to be a
I've been
Thunder
saying
player.
it for a while.
How
that
do
it
you
should be
not
Dort.
pick a Thunder player?
I think it's because I think Chet would win it in a landslide if he was healthy, or even Hartenstein if he was eligible.
Perimeter players don't usually get Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah,
Marcus Smart got it, didn't he?
Yeah, that's
He
the
did.
one of the last 15
Did
years.
Tony Allen never win one?
no,
Wow.
it's tough for a perimeter player to win it.
That's why Dub's take was so well thought out, is having like separate. Was that about defensive teams or was that about,
No, it's about Depoy.
yeah, to
Yeah.
where you could have like a perimeter defensive player of the year and a front court or front court defensive player of the year?
Yeah. I mean, what was funny is like they had this roundtable on ESPN.
Don't.
Somebody was
ESPN's
showing
basketball take is so bad right now.
Somebody even put a wrong stat out there about Draymond in an argument for Draymond, saying that teams shoot 54% around the basket with Draymond as the closest defender. And I was like, that cannot be right. And I looked it up. Teams are shooting 65% against him in the restricted area.
We're post facts, my man.
Wait, what are
all you have
we
to do is
doing?
say what you want to say, and
Who was it that said that?
Chris Herron, who I think is generally pretty good.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Why would you?
probably not intention, probably ignorance.
Accidental.
Or maybe the stat was sent by the team or
Yeah,
something to
maybe.
him. I don't know, but like that is just incorrect.
Is there anybody else that has
He probably has some money on
the last name
Draymond.
Green or the first name that would look similar that could have been confused for those stats?
I don't know.
How's Jalen Green doing?
Jeff
at
Green?
Rent. Jeff Green.
Maybe it was Jeff Green. I don't know.
Just a easy
Jeff. I'm
statistic reading failure. You know.
I mean, just for reference, I mean he's 65% in the restricted area. Chet's 50. Teams are shooting 53% against Chet.
What about iHeart?
iHeart, he's at 62.9%, which is good, but Chet's elite, like absolutely elite. And the number that he had in his article would have been elite, but it's just not true.
All I know is not to bag on ESPN, right? Like they just are really going through it.
Bag
but
on him. Bag.
the fact that the largest narrative around that team is Stephen A. Smith and LeBron, or around that organization is Stephen A. Smith and LeBron, and then the loudest take about basketball is Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, what am I
Yeah.
supposed to do with that?
Yeah.
And Stephen A. even mentioned, he's just like, I'd rather be in LA and Miami in June than obviously Oklahoma City, which understand. Probably makes sense. I've never been to Miami. I've been to LA. It's a cool city.
Hey, screw you, man. That's
I'm
my
like,
city.
you know what, Stephen A., guess what?
Hey, that's my city.
You don't have to come.
Yeah.
Hey.
And guess what?
We don't want you here.
Yeah.
Hey.
yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, what's so good about Miami? What's going on down there, huh?
Well, I. So that's why it's like the hard part about it is ESPN still controls a lot of the narrative around the sport, So it's,
I know.
and they still have good guys that talk about it, but you just have to do more work to listen to them. The loudest voices are the ones that are the least educated about the sport right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. It is bad. Anyways, yeah, I don't think Dort will win it. I think he's deserving of votes. I think he has to be on the all defensive first team. Has to be.
Yeah.
Don't you think a bunch of Thunder players are just going to get like random
Yeah, just
votes?
do 5 on all
But
just
that's
do 5
why,
Thunder players on the first team.
but that's
That
why
would
we're
be fair.
But that's why none of them are going to win Player of the Year because it's going to they're going to spread out votes so randomly.
Yeah, and Shea even said last night, like, hey, any vote that you would give to me, just give it to Dort. Like, don't give me the votes.
Wow.
Give them all to
Dort wins MVP
Just for MVP.
wow.
for MVP,
That'd be huge.
I just don't.
most improved,
Anything you were going to vote me for?
president.
Scoring title.
Luke,
Scoring
you're
away.
right. Luke, you're right. They are gonna. It's like, well, it's a whole team effort, and it is a whole team effort. But that just has not mattered for Depoy in the past.
Also,
No.
Dort's
If it's a
the
deep- if
Dort's
it's a-
the head of the snake, man.
He is.
Like, he's
And
the
it's like-
reason they're so good defensively. He makes up for any failure they have. He rotates so brilliantly.
Well, and
He's-
Chet, I guess, on the backside
for sure, but they just they.
But Chet
they
hasn't
set-
been there all
Let's say
season.
they set all
And
of these
Ihart.
insane records
Yeah.
in the gap when Chet wasn't even playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it really is. The whole team is very good at defense, right? My whole thing is they always will create, by they, I mean the media that is against us. All right? They hate OKC, this media.
Yeah.
But they would always there would be some narrative around, well, this is the best guy on the best defensive team.
Yeah. The biggest problem with Dort's Defensive Player of the Year candidacy is that the on-offs are not good. And people obsess over those. And so, the defense is, by the numbers, worse when he's on the court. So,
Yeah, but Fred Fred brought that up on one of the Wednesday pod you all did 3 or 4 weeks ago, and y'all it was pretty easy to dismantle that.
I think it is easy, but I just don't think it's easy to communicate that to all the voters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're just good. Some are just going to look
I
at
think
numbers.
they'll just look at the numbers and be like, whoa, how can we give it to this guy? Meh.
Especially when Draymond's keeping teams to 50 some odd % at the
Listen,
rim.
yeah. Man, that made me mad.
Did you send an email or
That
anything?
made
Maybe
me
a certified letter?
You should send
I
an
should.
email.
Yeah.
You've got clout, man. Let him know. This is Andrew Schlecht.
I don't think he cares.
Schletched? That means bad.
Schlecht.
It was a good interview, so it's not bad.
Schlecht. Best lineup last night for the Thunder: Shea, Ihart, Dort, Kaysen Wallace, and Isaiah Joe.
Queso, dude. Kaysen's been fantastic.
He should be Depoy, actually.
He's probably one of the most underrated players in the NBA. Period.
Yeah. He
Did something happen?
Did you just kick all the chords, Taylor?
No.
He hit a pretty substantial three. I think it was in the first half though, but
Down there.
I don't know, man. He is special. The way he plays defense, that's what's so frustrating. Has to be frustrating if you are another team playing the Thunder. Is they're just relentless.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we're gonna sub Dort out because he's in foul trouble. Guess what you get? Kaysen Wallace or Alex Caruso, and there's just no rest. Like, you don't have any lineups that you pull off. That's why Dort's numbers are so skewed, is because it's like, oh, sorry, his on-offs are bad. Guess why? Because he plays the best lineups, and then their second team, it's not there's not a defensive fall off.
Exactly.
They're elite across the board. That's why they're the best defense of all time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
Amen.
it's an unfair argument, but I do think it will be used against him. Yeah, I mean they're absolutely elite, and Kaysen has been so good, and he's very trusted. I mean, he played the most minutes off the bench last night. He starts in a lot of situations, and he's a player that I think has a lot of room to grow. He's one of the youngest guys on the team too. He doesn't play like it, but yeah, he's been really impressive, and that's when you look at the point of attack defense and really the defense that they have across the board. A lot of the playoffs is mismatch hunting. You know, when it gets down to the last 5 minutes of a close game, it's all mismatch hunting. That's basically why they couldn't play Giddey in that Dallas series, is that it was just mismatch hunting. And so they had to pull him. And their roster wasn't ready yet to have Giddey off the court, because he was one of their best 5 players last year. They weren't ready for one of their best 5 players to not be able to play. Now you don't have to do that. And so now when a team goes to mismatch hunt, what do they do? Where do they go? Who are they hunting in this situation? You know? Like if you're trying to hunt Shea, no.
Yeah, the number 2 steals leader in the NBA.
You try to hunt one of the bigs, both those guys can switch out.
Yeah, and they stay. Well, the what's great about iHeart and Chet is when you pull one of them out and you try to switch onto them, you have the other one that's able to help.
Yeah.
In the lane and cover up some of, if you get beat, you're not having a wide open lane with your big out because you have one of the two of those looming.
Well, we saw it even against the Clippers, and Shea was the one who was communicating this. And this was really brilliant at the end of the game. Shea was on Derek Jones, and he is screaming, like, hey, I got you to Kaysen, and letting him go double. Because he knew that, like, if Derek Jones beats us on a corner 3, so be it. But like that kind of communication, the ability to double team like that, like Kawhi had no chance of getting that shot off at the end of the game. And so like those are the kinds of it was cool to see that moment. One, because we haven't really seen them in tight games like that all season, and then 2, what the defense is capable of in moments like that. I think
they
really
were smothering.
special.
That's crazy.
Really, really special.
And that was a full, like the Clippers were fully healthy.
Yeah, that was their best shot. And the Thunder were not healthy.
And
in that game.
Didn't even play well.
No.
And some of that, I mean, they defended Shea pretty well. They're pretty physical. They do a good job of just creating problems. But Shea was also rushing a lot of stuff. And it was not Shea's best game. Maybe his worst game of the season. One of them.
This is his worst shooting game since the opening night of last year when he was awful against Denver.
What was last night? 15 to 25? No, he didn't shoot 25 shots, did he?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Jay.
Wow.
Jay Gilgeous-Alexander.
He was, I mean, that's so efficient.
He scored 37 points and didn't hit a 3 last night.
And 0 turnovers.
Yeah, 0 turnovers, which I'm sure that first quarter against the Kings, he's just like kicking. He's probably still kicking himself.
4,
at
5.
He's probably, and then he didn't have another one the rest of the game.
Yeah, he was gonna probably like, was it brooding? Is that a word? He's probably brooding over that.
Drooling.
He's probably drooling over that.
Drooling is what you mean.
Yeah.
Which one did you mean?
Brooding, right? Isn't that like kind of like stewing? Oh,
Yeah.
stewing
No,
is maybe
no,
the word.
that's the same thing.
Maybe brewing.
Ah, yeah, he was brewing over that.
He's totally brewing.
I think he was stewing.
So Thunder have 9 games left.
Jules do.
They're kind of middle of the pack as far as strength of schedule to finish, and all of that's really a wash because you don't know who's playing when and what all of that looks like. So who knows what it actually turns out to be. You have these 2 games. You've got Houston. You've got the 2 Lakers games.
Yeah.
There's a game I'm missing in there.
I think they
Phoenix.
should send nobody to Houston.
New Orleans.
I think they should send nobody to Houston.
Oh, like just
They
take
play
it out.
Utah again?
Trying to get us investigated?
I'm saying, listen, it's a one-off road game toward the end of the season.
Yeah.
You can send them, but don't play them against Houston.
Trying to get us
know what I
investigated.
mean?
Yeah, I do agree with you, actually.
Like, you need to find ways to rest these guys, and I think in a one-off road game, like, let Chet stay home. You know? Like, don't... See, I mean, honestly, like, I think the Thunder will win... If the Thunder wins 68 games, right?
Oh, come on. Give us one more. Say it.
If the Thunder wins 69 games...
Nice.
They still have to lose one more game. You know? Or if it's 68, they still have to lose 2 more games down the stretch. Or even 67, you lose 3. Whatever. Like, that's still 67 games, which hasn't been done since the 2016 season, by the way.
I'm pulling for 67 because that's what I said in my bold take, my bold prediction.
Oh, wow.
So
Did you really
need that to happen?
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's on the table, Jay.
I want 69.
What if they just ran the table and won 70?
That'd be sweet. I think it's
Like trying to
not
rest people.
Yeah, I was about to say even doing it, but
Yeah.
just being like, well, they played 3 games without any of their top 4 guys.
Yeah.
Which that is a possibility
happen.
that we can rest all our guys and then just still win.
You
these games.
absolutely feel that way. They play the Jazz and the Pelicans to finish the season.
Yeah.
You've got the Suns, which, you know,
The Suns, I think, will be cooked by then.
they're trying real hard to just crawl up to the play-in.
It's over.
Those 2 Lakers games, I don't know who they'll play in either one of those. Rockets, obviously, I kind of am with you. They do play the Pistons again the next Wednesday.
On ESPN.
I mean, the Pistons are good. Listen to the Suns' final schedule. I love reading this. Minnesota, Houston, Milwaukee, Boston, Knicks, Warriors, Thunder.
Sounds
San Antonio, Sacramento. That's how they end
Wow.
the season. Like
Sounds
they're going to be
terrible.
done. Like there's no way. Boston just destroyed them yesterday. Yeah, I think it's over because I think in the current standings, if the playoffs started today or the play-in started today, they're out. Yeah.
Jeez.
And the Mavs have Anthony Davis back. I think it's over for them. It's pretty wild.
It's over for them. It's over.
Yeah, currently it's Golden State, Minnesota, Sacramento, Dallas in the play-in.
Who do you want? First round. Dream team first round.
Give me the Mavs.
Give me the Mavs.
Let the Thunder destroy the Mavs in round
Yeah,
one.
that'd be sweet.
Please. I don't want to do Sacramento. Don't give me the easy way out. I'm kind of with Alex. I really don't want to see them play the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Or the Warriors.
No way. Not first round.
Although Alex got me way more afraid of the Wolves than I think we should be.
I don't think there's one team the Thunder should be afraid of in round one.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't think there's one team.
I think no matter who it is, sweep.
Are you guys seeing what Mark Cuban's been saying like over the past day or two?
Nope.
He is full on not on Team Nico anymore. He's like saying like I was supposed to be in charge of basketball. I would not have done the Luka trade. He's like gone full the other way. He's like I was supposed to be involved and then I didn't know and I guess the owner just decided to go with Nico.
He's the president of basketball ops.
And he had no idea.
And Mark sold the team.
Hey, he was told he was supposed to be the head of basketball, running basketball.
Yeah, I sold the team, but I'd still like to be in charge. Everybody cool with that?
Yeah.
What is he talking about?
Hey. Mark Cuban
In what
going
world
full,
is that? They're trying to do that with the Celtics too. No, like that is not how things work.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, it's just weird.
Well,
to
hopefully
think
he'll
that.
be.
Yeah,
You know,
and
he
like
can take
Mark
solace in
Cuban,
the billions of dollars he has.
Yeah.
Swimming around. And
there's
gold
29
coins.
other general managers that have never done that trade too. You know, like no one else is doing that trade.
So are you saying Nico's the only one who? Are you giving Nico credit for this?
Listen,
Are you saying he had the?
Yeah, he's the only one that has
cojones?
the guts.
he's the only one bold enough to do such a thing.
It's
Wow.
you know what it is? It's vision.
He's got vision.
The vision.
Very short-sighted
Yep,
and very bad vision. But he does
Jay,
have vision.
he has vision.
I mean, think
We
about
already
it.
we talked about it. He's got the vision of Mr.
That's
Magoo.
what-
His whole thing. We have a 3-year window. Well, that's gone.
Yeah. Oh, it's.
Gone. Poof.
I mean, Kyrie just had surgery. What was that 2 days ago?
Yeah, he's not back. Probably, maybe by April next year.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's gone.
I mean, maybe even it's February, but by that time, like, there's no way.
Also, what do we expect? Kyrie's been streaming a lot, by the way, and he's about to not have basketball. I think we're about to get some classic Kyrie quotes over the next year.
You
I'll say
hear
that.
things about Kyrie kind of teetering, honestly.
Yeah,
So
he's just gonna be home, not playing basketball, on streaming. We're about to get some old school Kyrie back in our lives.
Is he just
if you know what I'm
very-
saying.
Is he playing?
Very
Is he playing
possible.
video games or he's just? Chatting?
Yeah, he's playing video games, but he just like gets on there.
Pikmin?
cool.
I don't
He's
know.
a huge Pikmin guy.
Is he streaming Pikmin?
Streaming Pikmin.
What's Pikmin?
Oh, what's Pikmin? Olimar Louie? Get out of here, Jay.
Lamar Louie?
It's a Nintendo game.
Hey, speaking of, I went to Sauced.
Speaking of Pikmin, you went to Sauce.
Hold on.
Speaking of Pikmin,
Is that right? No.
Speaking of
Never
Pikmin,
mind. Never mind.
I went
Never
to
mind.
Sauce.
Where'd you go?
No, we went to. My son got his braces off over
my
spring.
son.
My son
Got his braces off. Got his braces
Over spring
off. His
break.
teeth are slimy now.
And and they had. I just thought about you guys because they had like 4 or 5 arcade games
Yeah.
in the because of the kids orthodontist. I mean, I guess all orthodontists are mostly kids, right? Anyway, they had all these arcade games, and one of them was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Turtles in Time.
Turtles in
Turtles in Time.
I thought about you guys.
It's a great.
It's a great game.
Tonight I dine on turtle soup.
Prehistoric turtle sauce.
Big Apple, 3 a.m.
I can't. Jay, how many
Technodrome.
How many times?
Kick shell.
Bury my shell at Wounded Knee.
How many times have we heard this little bit that they do every time?
Enough to where anytime I see any Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game, I think about it.
Sewer surfing. It's a great game.
It's a great game. Okay, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
How'd you guys do sewer surfing at the same?
It's the only one left.
It's the only one left. But Soston,
We're both like running through it in our heads.
We didn't even have to make eye contact. We just knew.
Soston Paseo has, dude, it's a fun spot. Pizza, pretty inexpensive, good, relatively decently priced drinks, and then they have a huge arcade, free games.
Free game.
Free game.
Yeah.
But it's all mostly old,
Oh, that's
old games. But
Both games.
play Mortal Kombat 2.
That's awesome. And we're back after that quick break.
We're back.
We have a Tayshawn's. We have a deep dive.
I do.
Okay.
John's back toy figure inventory. John's back toy figure inventory.
Hey, I'm Tayshawn. This is my victory dictory. Last night, the Pacers had a franchise record 162 points scored against the Wizards in 4 quarters. It was unbelievable. And the Wizards were booing the Pacers for just running the shot clock out at the end of the game. They were like trying to not run up the score anymore. And Wizards fans were booing them for not running
Score
the
more!
Get to 170.
Yeah.
Lord.
Wouldn't that be amazing? 162 in 4 quarters.
That's a
They shot,
franchise fan base
64
that knows what they're doing.
Yeah, they do.
And it's also
Yeah.
a fan base that is probably grateful for the first time they're intentionally tanking. I guess for the
Yeah.
second time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because how
And-
long were the Wizards in middle?
Oh, 20 years?
It feels like their entire existence.
Yeah.
I was gonna say they haven't won 50 games since the 70s. You know, like they haven't been that good.
That's
And
amazing.
They haven't been that bad either.
When your team is losing by that much, when are you leaving that game? I'm not.
They stay. I mean, Wizards fans go to Wizards games to watch the other team play.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but you also go just because if you're a diehard fan and these are when your tickets are going to be the easiest to get.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's wild is that
Like we missed all the tanking seasons because 2 of them were not 2 of them, but one of them was
One of them
nobody
was-
could be in the arena.
yeah. That was
Why?
weird.
What happened?
Weird time.
No, can't remember.
happened?
I've blocked it out of my memory.
What's funny is that they scored 162 points, but no one scored more than 29 points.
I know.
in the
That's
game.
what I was looking at. So Tyrese Halliburton only had 29, game high 29 points for the Pacers.
Yeah, that's
It's amazing. Their splits
Madness.
were like 64. Will you go down? What are their splits there?
64, 57, 89.
64, 57. Yeah, the Wizards are so trash. That's a disaster.
They're actually not as bad as they are. Like when they added Chris Middleton, they kind of became a normal bad basketball
Yeah.
team.
Yeah, but
they have to
that's-
really work to be bad.
And Marcus Smart, yeah.
But that's what makes them a trash team. Because they always get these players that just leave them right here where they're just
no. You are thinking of old Wizards. This is new. This is new Wizards.
No, it's not.
Yes,
This
it
is
is.
not new
It's a
Wizards.
new regime. I kind of agree with Jay.
Why?
Because
You still have Jordan Poole.
they're the worst team in the NBA. They can't. Who
You can't trade him.
you're just gonna waive them? That's the only thing you do. They took on bad contracts. They got rid of Kuzma, took on Middleton.
They're tanking. Like they're doing the right thing.
Yeah,
They're
these are
doing-
old Thundermen too.
I mean, think about the Thunder who lost
Their
by
GMs are they're
74 points or whatever to the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
people were hating on the Thunder big time back then.
and it's paying off. The Wizards
Yeah.
are the top 3 worst teams in the league.
If they got Cooper Flag and you have, if you have Sarr and Cooper Flag
And
like,
Bilal,
yeah, Bub.
you're 3-4 years away from competing, but you have a great foundation.
And you're in the East too. Like you may be less than that because the East is. It's really not that competitive.
This is one of those franchises. Only time will tell.
No, but I just am trying to tell you, like, give them a shot. They are different than who they used to be.
Why do I have to give them a shot?
Because the entire organization finally changed.
I agree with
Why? I don't care.
I agree
I
with
know you
Jay.
don't have to give them a shot, but
you're
the one that brought the whole point
Yeah,
up.
my point is I like to say that the Wizards are trash. I don't have to give them a shot. Why do I have to give them a shot?
They're a different
Why are you
trash. They're a
who
different trash than
cares?
they used to be.
I don't care about the Wizards.
I understand that, but let's just go back to the fact that you brought this entire segment up.
Yes, to trash the Wizards.
So
I don't care enough about them to. Well, actually, it was to like just talk about this crazy score. Really,
But you do care about them enough to.
No, you're trying to
talk
make
about
me
them.
say I need to give them credit, and I'm saying
I'm just saying they're a different level of trash than they used to be.
Hot trash.
the next in three.
I think here's how it actually. Here's how we got here: is the Wizards fans have watched this team swim in mediocrity for its entire tenure.
Yeah,
they at least finally have a direction they're going.
Yeah,
and I think that Wizards fans that are like diehard psycho fans, like we would be, are like, I'll go and freaking cheer for the Pacers to score more points because I actually know what we're doing.
Okay.
We're trying to be bad so that we can have the best shot to get out of this basement.
Down there.
Yeah, they actually have a plan.
What's going on?
What's going on down there?
What's going on down there?
The Wizards are losing.
What's wild is that they've already won more games this year than they did last year.
Wow.
But they're still, aren't they top 3 worst teams?
Yeah.
Then the Jazz, and who's the third one I'm looking for?
Top 3.
I know, it's weird to say it. The bottom 3.
Pelicans.
Yeah, Pelicans.
Yeah, the Pelicans.
You would do
Charlotte,
a quick
Charlotte's there now.
quick
good for
tankathon spin?
Charlotte.
Yep. We'll do a quick spin.
Yeah, spin it up. Ooh,
Let's see what happens.
Charlotte.
And Philly jumped to the second pick, so the Thunder don't get that. Utah down to the third.
no.
New Orleans fourth, and the Wizards fifth.
So if the Thunder don't get,
Brutal.
just to clarify, most Thunder fans know this. If the Thunder do not get the Sixers pick or the Heat pick this year, the Sixers pick becomes top 4 protected next year, which means it'll more than likely convey.
Yep.
And the Heat pick will absolutely convey because it is completely unprotected.
Correct.
That Heat pick is spicy.
It is.
Yeah, and people that don't really know about this setup that OKC has with these picks in the coming years are going to be so mad.
Like, how-
when we're still one of the best teams, and they're like, "Wait, what?"
Think about it. Think about this possibility: the Thunder win the championship this year.
Yeah,
And then next year, I think the only pick they're going to get probably this year is actually the Clippers pick, which is fine with the 18 or 19 or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's like 21st right now.
Yeah, 21st. Is that somebody's phone or is that an actual goose?
We got a duck.
We've got
Or
some
duck.
ducks.
that's a
Trying to
duck.
join the podcast because we got a pond out there.
That's right.
Down to duck.
They're splashing
Down
in
the
that
pond.
thing. Down to duck.
That makes more sense.
I got it.
That's what I said.
I know. I like it. That's why I said it again.
Oh,
So then the Thunder could go for a repeat next summer
Yeah.
and then potentially have 2 top 12 draft picks.
yeah, exactly.
People will lose their minds.
yeah.
Because it's not out of the realm of possibility.
No, it's not.
It's not out of the realm of possibility that the Heat are actually worse next year than they are this year.
Oh, yeah, I agree with
I know.
you.
I don't know what they.
And the Sixers are so dependent on 2 guys that are hurt all of the time.
all the time.
Because even if you get insert top 3, 4 guy, that guy's not going to be able to come in. I think Cooper's the only one right now, I believe, that would come in and immediately make an impact on winning for a team.
Coming in the ocean.
Yeah, and even he probably won't.
You're not moving the needle for a team like the Sixers who had championship aspirations.
And PG was just not good this year when he played.
Yeah, so I'm like,
He's thinking about those podcasts.
it's not crazy to think that both of those picks can land in between 4 and 12.
It's not crazy.
It's not crazy at all.
Not crazy at all. I guess that's the end of Tayshawn's.
Oh yeah,
Hey, DK.
We almost got in a fight, though. That's good.
yeah.
About the Wizards.
I didn't know where to go. I just wanted to get worked up about it because I felt like,
D-Type, are you guys sick of me singing LeBron songs yet?
Yep.
yeah, I stopped listening.
I haven't listened to one of them.
You haven't listened to
You haven't listened to one of
Maybe
them?
one of them.
I was in
Wow.
the first 2 days you were sending them, and then I didn't care anymore.
Well, People are sending. I'm getting a lot of things sent to me.
Well, once you did the chocolate rain, it was kind of over for me.
Well, you think, but then
You kinda
haven't
hit the-
listened to any
you're
of
at
the
the
other
top of the
ones,
mountain. Why
but
would I
you
listen to the
don't
rest
know
of
any of the other
I just
ones.
can't imagine that they'd be good.
Well, that's why I'm
comparatively.
sending them to you because they are.
Well, I'm not going to.
I'm not going to play them, but just know they're out there, and they're still very good.
I feel like this could be an unending thing though, because it's there are
new songs are made
millions of
every day.
songs.
Yeah.
I know they're calling it LeBronify, like Spotify.
I can't imagine
This
what
is-
is it. Your algorithm, what 95% LeBron?
Yes, it's all that.
How do you feel about some of these being AI generated?
I don't believe they are.
Yeah, they definitely are. So I can tell which ones are and which ones aren't.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
because they
I'm just gonna put my microphone down.
like the same voice
I just think they're all
as the song.
I think they're being made by the same guy.
no.
Well, I don't know. And that's
I'm just telling you,
dangerous.
man, you'll be very disappointed to hear that some of these are AI generated.
I was gonna say I know why he doesn't want to believe this because he's the anti-AI guy and
I
he
know.
loves this thing.
I know.
And so if he realizes that AI is making something he enjoys,
send me the one I would like to see, and we can discuss because I have not ever once thought that. They feel.
Of course you don't. You don't want to believe it. Of course.
Well,
you're not.
no, I just hadn't even crossed my mind that it could be, and I hate it.
I like the
Yeah.
I like the thought of Luke breaking down in the car after this. Like, what? No.
No, I need to investigate.
Oh boy! Hey, it's time for some Twitter questions.
Twitter questions. You got questions and you ask them on Twitter. Now we answer them for you. This is Twitter questions. Now let's get down to it.
They're all real.
They're all real to. They're real. They're all real to me. Damn it.
Teenage Dirtbag's a great song.
Well, that's why I sent. That's why I sent it because it's good, and you should be listening to all of them. But you're not listening to any
But why would I ruin the real song that I like?
because if I'm sending something in the group, it's because I think the group is all gonna love it. If I didn't think someone
Are those just in the DTD thread, or is that the Owls?
was that the house, and
I don't
and
know.
if I didn't,
I can never not think about McKelly just opening up. Like, what is happening?
That's-
Luckily, he listens for the context on Fridays, but
part of the reason why sending it is so funny. If I don't think you guys will think it's funny, I'm not sending it to the full group.
Wow.
Okay,
I think it's funny.
that's pretty carefully curated. But now that I know not everyone's into it, we're about to have a three-man text group.
Listen,
leave me out of this, man.
I'm telling you. Because I'm telling you, there's a very, I'll just say this. There's a very, very special thing that I don't send very many things in. And it's me, Taylor's brother. And that's where I'm
we
sending.
can't talk about what's
That's where I'm sending the wildest.
We can't.
That's
talk
where
about it.
if that got leaked,
yeah,
his
that
career ended.
I was
That-
gonna say
It's real, but it's really just like, is it career ending to send like 3 TikToks? I don't know. Maybe.
I mean,
Depends on the content.
I was gonna say.
All right. We'll add you to it for
I
a
will not
second.
say.
And you won't listen to it and you won't do them, so we can drag you down too.
I mean, I listened to a few of them.
That's not what you said.
You sent us 20 of them
And you
in the
said
last
I
week.
didn't listen to any.
I know it's not true. I just couldn't remember which ones it was that I
That was
listened
rude.
to.
That was rude. It's okay. TQs. First TQ comes from at Agholors. That's what it says. Give the top 5 DTD intros of all time in order.
The Ennis, Steven Adams, Kevin Durant one
that
was probably the top,
it
just as
was-
far as popularity.
it was
This one's
incredible.
really good. It's
Yeah,
hard
I
to beat
like
this one.
Yeah, the access has helped
Yes.
for sure.
Well, the quality,
Yeah.
The Alex
the baby bottle pop.
Baby
Abrinas
bottle
one
pop.
was good.
Mitch
I'm about to dunk.
Mitch
I'm about to
McGarry's
dunk.
was very good. I think our
Yeah.
first player one.
It was our first player one.
Was very
He
good.
had to he had to do it again.
yes.
He
Mitch
said it
McGarry.
so slow the first time Mitch McGarry did.
I'm Mitch McGarry.
Because he was
I'm Mitch McGarry and I'm down to dunk. So let me do that again.
Yes, because it was like you said, like, say this, and he's like saying, "It's like, what am I saying?" It's very good.
It's still. I actually saw it. I don't know who added it, but there was somebody. It was on like a large enough platform where it made me giggle. It was when Chet. There's a moment where Chet's talking to you.
Yeah.
His first year where he doesn't get you.
Yeah.
And he like looks at the camera.
Yeah.
The side eye to the camera, like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
And somebody has taken. I mean, it's in the. I think it's in just the GIF. World now. But man, it cracks me
really
up every
funny.
time.
It is good.
Yeah, it takes people a little bit of time to figure out.
But now
what's
he's all
going
in.
on.
He's worried about your knee.
He's great.
Yeah.
That's right. Is he the one that called you my guy?
Yeah.
That was.
That's
pretty fun.
funny that you were
really
a part of that. I can't believe how viral that thing went.
It's so bizarre.
How bizarre! How bizarre!
wild.
I think we're so used to how casual and cool these guys are with media and everything post game that I don't think we realize that everyone else is watching and being like, "Whoa, that's weird." That player is that casual.
He literally like looks at his manager, whoever it is that's in there, and he's just like, it's so good. Although, does Chet have sisters?
Yes.
2 sisters?
Yes.
That are both like 7 feet tall?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
I saw them on my way out the arena. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
They are easily 6'8" and 6'7".
No.
Yeah.
And they both are super thin.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. Has there been a LeBron thong song mashup? LeBron.
Yeah, that'd be
Is
that
there?
feels right there.
There has to have been
So
one.
obviously,
Well,
for
I'll
the
ask the
taking.
next Twitter question, then I'm on it because I
Okay.
bet
Okay.
it does exist. And I'm not gonna search for it as right now, but I'm not gonna play it. But I'll
Dude, I'd love to hear it.
no, no,
Blazing.
no, we can't. Hey, let's go to our next Twitter question. That says it's from @ZachDeeg, who said, "Would you give your other ACL to have Mark on the pod this offseason?"
No, heck no. You kidding me?
I did
No.
ask Andrew to give Isaiah Hartenstein his ACL when I thought it
might
was
do
torn.
that for the playoff run, but no.
I'll give him one of
absolutely
mine.
not.
You've already given up yours
Yeah.
and a kidney.
Dude, it's been so terrible. I don't have to talk about it anymore. But
Are you feeling better,
there's
though?
No way. I mean, getting there. Yeah.
Would you give up both yours
No.
for Andrew to have him on?
No.
No.
I wouldn't. No.
I wouldn't allow anybody
To be
do
clear,
that.
I'm not giving up any of my ACLs for Mark Dagnall to come on the podcast. I like Mark, but that's cool. I'm
Yeah.
good with that.
Yeah.
Not for the podcast, but for Hartenstein to play in the playoffs, he can have one.
Yeah.
Not both.
Okay.
You're kidding.
Can you imagine having both replaced?
Huh?
Can you imagine having? We've had people at the church that have had 2 knee replacements at the same time.
That's brutal.
That's brutal.
It's so crazy.
Hey, let's go to our next Twitter question. It comes from @BarkDagnalt, who says, "The 2024 offseason is surely the single greatest offseason the franchise has ever seen, right?"
I mean,
The 2020 offseason?
The 2024.
Oh, 2024.
you could argue that
22.
20. Yeah, I was about to say 22.
When you draft Chet and J-Dub and J Will, for that matter,
Yeah.
and Oos,
And who's?
Yeah, that's
the 2 of those for sure.
You just get
I mean, you can even throw in the Paul George one. Like, now I'm saying when Paul George came, but whenever they traded him to the Clippers, like in hindsight, there is no more consequential one than that one.
yeah.
Yeah, because you get Shea, you get an MVP candidate.
Yeah.
that is completely aligned with ownership, management, coaching staff.
Yeah.
I mean, like
It's the perfect player in the perfect organization, and that's what's crazy is you can kind of look back and say, really, since the rebuild, Sam has almost navigated this. I mean, I don't even say almost. I think is too much of a qualifier. Like, he has navigated this perfectly.
What could you have done?
The only thing is there's a few things that he, and this is what everybody that drafts in the NBA always will do, is like there are just misses, but who doesn't miss?
I was going to say nobody bats 100%, but if you get Chet and J-Dub in one draft, like
Yeah.
who cares? Who cares?
Yeah,
Whatever
and
else
Wiggins in the
happens.
second round, Isaiah Joe off
Yeah.
of the scrap heap. Like,
Yeah. Honestly, the best offseason was when they traded Paul George. 'Cause
I would
it set
actually-
the table for
Yep.
everything.
Okay, I'm going to argue the best offseason was the offseason that KD left. KD leaves, Russ wins MVP. Since KD is gone, That's why we trade for Paul George. We get Paul George. You don't have Paul George, you don't get Shea.
I'd say the most important offseason is actually 2007. They draft KD.
2007 when they
for him to leave.
Exactly.
Yeah. Technically, I would even go back before that. So the Sonics missed on. I'm just
when
kidding.
the Sonics lost in the finals. It really triggered this entire. I do think though making the trade for Shea is the biggest thing, because you could have just completely bottomed out, not gotten Shea in that trade, and like you get Gallinari and you get whatever else.
You also get the draft pick that becomes J-Dub.
Yeah, you get the J-Dub pick, and like that's good, and like the Thunder would be in a good spot if it was like Chet and J-Dub and a bunch of these other guys, but without Shea, you're not a title contender. You're not winning 61 games. He's
going to be the MVP of the NBA this year.
You don't get the MVP. I mean, it's the most important thing.
Let me ask you another one, just like a hypothetical what if. Mm-hmm. What if the Thunder swap, instead of getting 2 in the Chet draft, they got 2 in the Giddey draft.
Yeah.
And it ended up drafting, they would have gotten Mobley. They wanted Mobley. So then he probably raises your ceiling a little, or your floor a little bit the next year.
Yeah.
Meaning that maybe you get the 7th or 8th pick in the Evan Mobley draft, or in the Chet draft, which I couldn't even tell you who else was in that draft other than Paolo, Jabari Smith, Dyson,
Mathurin, Shaden Sharp.
How does that flip mode?
I think that it worked out perfectly.
See you, bud.
I think that unless they got like 1 and 5, and you got like
It's the Ducks, the ghost.
if you got Evan Mobley and I mean maybe they would still take Giddey at 5. I don't know.
Yeah.
You'd much rather have
What you got now?
what you have. And I know Giddey's been playing great. I know a lot of
Well,
people wanna
Mobley's
have that
fantastic
conversation.
as well, but
Mobley's a good player. The ceiling that Chet has is much higher than
there's nobody that is hindsight reevaluating the Giddey the trade, are they?
Oh, I mean, you can definitely find people that are doing that. But
it was right for both.
Yeah, I mean, Giddey doesn't do what he's doing in Oklahoma City. He was not a good fit for the team. Like, we don't really even have to go over it, to be honest. But, like, if anybody is out there, like, Thunder fans, you don't have to engage in that conversation. Like, I just wouldn't. It's just dumb.
Plus Caruso.
You know what you
Caruso's super good.
Perfectly fitted for this team.
Yeah.
You know what you have to engage in? Are you miffed and are you peeved?
Miffed and peeved.
Thank you.
I think I'm 100% today.
Yeah, I think so. Both of y'all.
Oh,
You're doing a great job, man.
No.
Luke, are you miffed and peeved?
No, I'm not. I'm actually having... this week has been long for work-wise.
Yeah.
A long work week, but it has felt good.
Full.
But it's been good. So I'm feeling good. Feeling great. How are you?
Is that an Outcast
Feeling
quote?
good.
Yes,
Feeling
good.
Feeling great.
No, I have nothing to complain about. Good. I did last night. This is not anything of substance, but last night I was driving. I was going to meet my friend Justin for the game, and I was like, "Hey, I'll be over there." I left my house at 5:50. I live in Southeast Edmond, and left
Your address.
one. So I get on Broadway Extension heading south, and there's a wreck on basically right on the bridge where 44 goes underneath Broadway Extension.
No.
So they had it all shut down. All 3 lanes that cross over that, all 3 shut down. Moved down to 1 lane that has to cross in what is technically the turnaround lane.
Oh, no.
So I left my house at 5:50, got to his house at 6:35. 15-minute drive, took 45 minutes. So it was fun. And we're just trying to get up there early, and I don't know why. I just hang out, get some signatures.
Nice.
We weren't going to get that.
You get autographs. You got to be there a lot earlier to get autographs.
What time? 5:30?
Yeah, just be there when the doors open.
What time does that happen?
5:30.
Okay. I don't know if I'll ever do that. If my son wanted to, I would do it. But for the most part,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, my kids are very into that.
My kids.
It's not my jam.
My jam.
How are you, man? You miffed and peeved, Andrew?
I mean, sure, but it's whatever.
Sure.
All right.
Hey guys, have a great day. Have a great
We got the
week.
Pacers Saturday. We'll be back on Monday. To
Little
discuss
3-game Eastern Conference homestand.
Listen, you beat these
Pacers,
teams.
Bulls, Pistons.
It's like, how many more East teams do they have? Because this
I think that's it.
The Thunder are trying to set another record, which is
One loss for the Eastern Conference.
really if they got 2 losses, they would still set the record for best record against
The opposite conference.
an opposing conference. So
Just win them all.
just go win them all.
It is the 3, right? Then they're done after the Pistons.
I think that's right.
Because they got the Rockets, the Lakers twice, the Suns, the Jazz, and the Pelicans. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's all West after that. So they have these 3 games. So it's all on the table.
They would finish the week, finish through Detroit, 64 wins,
Yeah,
and 1 loss in the Eastern Conference.
that's wild.
I'm calling it 60.
Seems like a pretty fun thing to actually go for.
Yeah.
You maybe could beat some
And
of
they're
these
all at
teams with
home,
some of
too.
those little bench heavy lineups.
Yeah, they're all at home. So, all right. Hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll talk to you guys again on Monday.